Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. Actually, my garage today. It is horrible lighting. I apologize for that, but I really wanted to be here in my garage, in front of my garage fridge, because this is the fridge that I store all my bulbs that I need to pre-chill for spring blooming here in zone 9B. It's actually really sweet. I love that I'm doing this video today because almost a year ago, a little less than a year ago, this video right here, right in the spot in the garage, was the very first video that I got up the nerve to film for YouTube. It wasn't the first video that I posted, but it was one of the first. And don't go back and watch it, but I don't even think I showed my face, but this was the very, very first video. And I love that I've kind of come full circle in a year and I'm back here kind of doing a video on the very same topic. Very, very different circumstances. I'm in front of the camera. I feel so much more comfortable. Anyway, I appreciate you all watching. So I live in Northern California, zone 9B, and here we just don't get cold enough during the winter for certain bulbs, certain spring blooming bulbs to get enough chill time to bloom properly. What they say is zone 7B is kind of the cutoff, and it's not a hard and fast rule. Some people in zone 7B can get away with not pre-chilling their bulbs. Some people do have to pre-chill their bulbs. They kind of say it's around 7B where the cutoff is, where everybody below that, like 6, 5, 4, they don't have to worry about pre-chilling. You guys get cold enough. All you have to do is plant your bulbs and not even think about it, and lucky you, right? Everybody above zone 7B does need to pre-chill their bulbs. It doesn't get cold enough. It usually doesn't get cold enough in the winter for the bulbs to start that chemical reaction to get them producing the flowers and allowing the blooms to come the way that they should, nice and tall and big and bright. So all of us in warmer climates, more mild climates, we need to pre-chill our bulbs. And there's a couple ways to do it. You can actually purchase pre-chilled bulbs from the bulb suppliers, or you can do what I do and cheap out, but not even really, because these are fantastic bulbs from Costco. I get a ton of my bulbs from Costco, and I just pre-chill them myself in my garage fridge. So how long do bulbs actually need to chill for? That is such a varied answer. It depends on where you live. It depends on what type of bulb you got. It depends on the climate that your winter is having, that particular year. So as a wide range, it's basically 6 to 14 weeks the bulbs have to chill. And I thought the best advice was think about when those bulbs, those blooms are going to come in the late winter or spring. The later they come up, the more chill time that they're going to need in your fridge, which totally makes sense, because if you're in cold zone 4 and your tulips don't come until mid to late spring, that's going to be a very long chill time that those bulbs are naturally getting. And so we have to artificially give those bulbs that in the fridge. So I am pre-chilling my bulbs today. It is the first week of October, and I am planning to plant my bulbs late December. So that should give me about 12 or 13 weeks of pre-chill time. So I'm on the far end, and I think the easiest way to think about it is you can't over-chill your bulbs. If you put them in for, 3 months, you're going to be doing fine. 4 months, you're going to be doing fine. You just want to turn on that chemical reaction inside the bulb, and the coldness of the fridge allows that chemical reaction to start. If the bulbs don't get enough pre-chill time, then that biochemical reaction is not going to initiate, and you are going to get either bulbs that don't flower at all, or if they do flower, they're going to flower, but they're going to be very short. Basically, it's going to be the leaves, and then the bulbs are going to be down here inside the leaves. So they're not going to be useful at all. So if you notice that on your bulbs, say you're kind of in that watershed area around zone 7 or zone 8, and you're starting to notice very short tulips or very short hyacinths, you might want to think about pre-chilling your bulbs and throwing them in your fridge, for 10 weeks or something like that, 2 months, just to give them that really good chill time that those bulbs need. So the ideal temperature range for pre-chilling your bulbs is around 35 degrees Fahrenheit to 45 degrees Fahrenheit. And I will put it right here on the screen what that is in Celsius. But basically what you need to know, it's about the temperature of a fridge. Most fridges are around 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So a fridge is going to be a good place for you to pre-chill your bulbs. This is my garage fridge. It runs a little bit warmer than that. It runs usually in the upper 40s, but I still find that it works absolutely perfectly for pre-chilling my bulbs. Now, the one thing that you have to think, you do not want to pre-chill your bulbs in a fridge that you store fruits or vegetables in. And that is because of the ethylene gas that is emitted by ripening fruits and vegetables. If you think about, if you want an avocado to get ripe, you put it in a bag and you put it close to bananas, or, they have all these little tricks for it. And what that is, it's the ethylene gas to ripen the avocados. Or, you don't want to store bananas around other fruits because the ethylene gas will ripen the bananas too quickly. So it's the same thing for bulbs. The ethylene gas can actually mess with the chemical reaction of the pre-chilling process. And so you do not want to put fruits or veggies in the same fridge that you are pre-chilling your bulbs. So if you only have one fridge and you really want to store you have to store your fruits and vegetables in there, you might want to invest in having the big bulb companies pre-chill your bulbs for you. It's just an extra fee. It's honestly not that much, but I just like pre-chilling my bulbs myself. So like I said, I am in zone 9B, and I'm gonna read you the bulbs that need pre-chilling and the bulbs that don't need pre-chilling. Now, if you live in a zone that's higher than I am, say you live in zone 10, you might wanna double check on these in your zone, because I know in zone 10, some daffodils actually do need pre-chilling. So just check on it, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, but here is a good list of bulbs first that need pre-chilling. So these bulbs you need to put in your fridge. Those include tulips, hyacinths, and crocuses. The ones that don't need pre-chilling are daffodils and narcissus, iris, freesia, alliums, ranunculus, anemones, paperwhites, and amaryllis. So we have daffodils kind of on the side of our freeways. They grow wild and they're so beautiful. And, you can imagine they keep naturalizing every year. So obviously it gets cold enough where I live for those daffodils to come back again and again and again. However, you never see tulips anywhere around where I live, anywhere in my area, unless somebody has specially pre-chilled them, taken the time to care for them to get them to bloom. I'm sure it's different in colder areas of the country. You all probably have tulips coming up every single year. I'm jealous of you. I hope you appreciate it and I hope you love it. But that's just a quick list of the ones that you need to worry about and the ones that you don't need to worry about. So after you're done pre-chilling your bulbs, you can plant them anywhere from November to January. I'm planning to plant mine in late December. That's just when the timing worked out for when I got my bulbs. Like I said, I'm gonna be pre-chilling them for about 12 to 13 weeks, and then I will plant them out. Once you plant them out, you can spread a nice thick layer of mulch, which will keep the soil cool and keep them in some good moisture. You wanna make sure you're putting them in some well-draining soil though, because bulbs can rot if they're sitting in soil that doesn't drain. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna throw my bulbs in the fridge. Last year, I opened up all these bags from Costco and I separated them all, but I found that I was getting so confused as to which type of bulbs were which. I labeled them, but of course the labels didn't work very well. Let me just show you the ones that I got from Costco. I'm still planning to get more as I see more, but these are the ones that I have now. These are gonna be for my own personal garden and then also for my flower field. So a lot of them are gonna be for cutting, which I'm really, really excited about. And again, these are all from Costco. I think it's just the most fantastic deal. It's like $13 for this whole bag. So this is the blushing pink mix of tulips. Isn't that gorgeous? And then these are gonna be for my personal garden. Amore mix, pretty. Negrita and jumbo pink. These are for cutting. I thought those would be so pretty, like for Valentine's Day. And then finally, I have some hyacinths. I got these, they were called the William and Kate mix last year, but this year they're called Blue Star, Pink Pearl, and Aeolus. I can't say that. Anyway, I just think that they're so pretty. These are going to go in my personal garden as well. And so I'm sure I'll be finding more. You know, you always see bulbs when you go to Home Depot or Costco or anything like that. I do have some bulbs on order that I'm waiting to come. I don't think I bought any that need to be pre-chilled. I think I mostly bought daffodils that are getting delivered to me. So I'm just going to throw these in the fridge. Let me do that real quick. All right, and that is it. So I really feel like if you just have the information for why we need to do certain things, it will make such a difference in your garden. It was so funny. I was talking to the woman, the cash register at Costco, who had bought bulbs, had actually bought bulbs when they came in. And she asked me, you know, if I had any tips, because of course I bought a ton of them. And I told her that she needed to pre-chill her tulip bulbs. She had absolutely no idea that she needed to do that. So I think it's really important to get the word out, especially if you live in zone 7B and above. So again, as a little recap, if you live in zone 7B and above, you need to pre-chill your spring blooming bulbs, which include tulips, hyacinths, and crocuses. Take a look in your zone specific to see if there's any other ones, such as daffodils if you live in higher zones. You know, just kind of take a look, but those are the three main ones that need to be pre-chilled. Pre-chilling time is anywhere from 6 weeks to 14 weeks, but the way you think about it is just look at when those blooms, you know, when those bulbs bloom. If they bloom in late spring, they're probably gonna need more time than bulbs that bloom in late winter. And that's just kind of along with nature. Nature is giving those bulbs some more time to chill. That's why they bloom later in the season. You wanna put them in your fridge and you wanna make sure that there's no fruits or vegetables in the fridge. And that is it. So if you all live in a higher zone than 7B, pre-chill your bulbs, get them in the ground November through January, and enjoy those tulips, hyacinths, and crocuses in the spring. Thanks everyone for joining me, and I hope you all have a chance to get into your garden today.